First, live, local. Good Day Oregon starts now on Fox 12 Oregon.
Oh, if you're tired and just worn out from this dreary, cold,
sick and
tired, soggy weather, boy, are you in luck.
Yes.
She's saying it to me, not the prompter.
Yeah,
just so
Kim
you
was
know.
looking right at Joe. Today we are heating up to the warmest temperatures we've seen in more than 160 days, to be exact.
Years.
It does feel like years. Good morning, and you know what? It's a Friday, April 21st, so smiles all around. I'm Shauna Parsons.
I'm Kimberly Moss. We will get to your roads and the forecast in just a moment. But first, we want to head out to Deborah Gill, who's making the most of the weather this morning at Waterfront Park. Hi, Deb.
Hello. I have to give props to photographer Mike Heinrich, because when we pulled up, Joe's been talking about some fog and patches of low clouds. I got to tell you, and you can still see it here hanging over the river, it was looking really, really gloomy. And then Mike says, I predict as soon as you go live, the clouds are going to part and the sun will shine. And look at that. It's actually happening. Quite a few people out jogging and biking, and it's not even above 45 yet this morning. But you can bet a lot of people are going to be heading outdoors today. Kim and Shauna, back to you.
Is she trying to say she's not going to run through the fountain?
I was just going to say.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm hearing. It's still cold out there, Joe.
You know, people have been, desperate for the warm temperatures.
Yeah.
In upper 60s, low 70s. Some people might be losing some clothing for it. I won't be, but I will be dressing not as in layers as I have been. You can dress in the T-shirt and shorts. You get ready to head home. Temperatures are a little bit on the chilly side, starting things off though this morning. By the afternoon, we'll be running in the upper 60s to low 70s. Now here's Tony.
Yeah, a little bit heavy here along I-5 northbound. A lot of that is due to the bright sun glare that you face right into as you head down towards Terwilliger. That's some of our slowest traffic in town right now. Up in Vancouver, it's completely clear at the north end of the Interstate Bridge. Shauna, Kim, back to you.
All right, Tony, thank you. The man accused of lighting a stranger on fire inside a Happy Valley Denny's is now in jail.
Deputies arrested Deshaun Swanger last night.
Hey, hands up. Keep your hands up. Hey, I want you to walk to the sound of my voice, okay? Keep your hands up for me.
Investigators say Swanger was shown in video from the attack Wednesday night. They say he approached the 69-year-old stranger at the Denny's restaurant, doused him in gasoline, and set him on fire. Yesterday, a neighbor told Fox 12 that he recognized Swanger from the surveillance video and called investigators.
It's disgusting to me, hearing what happens to this elderly man. He didn't deserve that. So I think anything they give him, he's going to get what he deserves.
Deputies say they're breathing a sigh of relief now that an arrest has been made.
I've never seen this either. I've been doing this job for 23 years, and I can tell you right now, this is, thank goodness, unheard of. I mean, this is tragic. Our thoughts and prayers at the sheriff's office are definitely with the victim.
Swanger is now being held at the Clackamas County Jail.
This isn't the first time he's been arrested either. Take a look at these prior mugshots of him. They date back to 2012. He's faced charges out of Milwaukee and Deschutes County for things like burglary, criminal trespassing, and possession of a stolen car. The family of the victim is sharing their story with us this morning. Their brother's fight to live. Fox 12's Kendra Kent is live at the Clackamas County Jail, where Swanger is locked up this morning. So, Kendra, what's the latest?
Shauna, there is some good news this morning. The family of the victim says he is expected to survive, but again, he is fighting for his life. He's still in critical condition at the hospital. And at this time, we're only identifying him by his first name, which is Scott. We spoke to his sister, who tells us her brother is now unrecognizable from his severe burns. She says Scott was just an innocent customer at Denny's, his usual spot to enjoy coffee and use his computer. Simply put, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and now his life is forever changed.
What that person did to him is evil. He's a good guy. He doesn't deserve nobody, even if they're a bad person, doesn't deserve to be burned like that.
So far, the family has raised more than $6,000 in a GoFundMe account to help pay for medical expenses. Now, as for the suspect, he is here at the Clackamas County Jail. He faces attempted murder charges, and he is being held without bail. He will appear in court this afternoon. Reporting live, Kendra Kent, Good Day Oregon.
Kendra, thank you. We now know the cause of a deadly motel fire in Newport. Investigators said yesterday that Rebecca Sinclair was smoking and failed to put a cigarette out properly. The fire at the City Center Motel in August killed 4 people. Investigators say they were in the 2 rooms directly above Sinclair. Sinclair now faces more than a dozen charges, including manslaughter.
We have an update on the man who admits he abandoned several RVs on a North Portland street. He turned himself into police. Neighbors call the RVs zombie trailers. John Mayer says they're his. Mayer had a pile of citations from police for leaving those RVs abandoned, fines of about $50,000. He told Fox 12 he used to tow and scrap the RVs for a business, but wrecking yards wouldn't work with him because he didn't have the proper license. So he just left the RVs on North Columbia Court. Mayer has now been booked on 13 misdemeanor counts. Oregon City Police have arrested William Kelly III. He's accused of burglarizing 2 Oregon City car washes back in March, just a week apart. Police say in one of those cases, Kelly made off with an unknown amount of cash. His bail is set at $30,000.
We are now hearing from Portland Police Chief Mike Marshman, who is now back to work after being placed on administrative leave. Chief Marshman returned to the job Wednesday. He told Fox 12 he got the call that he was on leave shortly after the mayor's State of the City address last month.
I knew that Internal Affairs was looking into that whole case, if you will. So I knew what he was referring to. I was just surprised that it rose to that level.
We know the investigation was centered on an attendance log for a training class, but Chief Marshman still can't talk about specifics because the lieutenant he works with closely is still on leave tied to the same case. The chief does say he was surprised by the nature of the allegations. Marshman says he's learned some things.
For me, since I've never been through administrative leave before, empathy, for the folks that have to go through it. And again, that it just reinvigorates my drive to look at the city's accountability system on that macro level and see how we can still achieve what we need to achieve, but do it quicker for everybody involved.
Chief Marshman replaced Chief O'Day last year, who retired after investigators say he accidentally shot a friend on a hunting trip. Mayor Ted Wheeler has said he has plans to launch a national search for a permanent police chief, and he has encouraged Chief Marshman to apply.
All right, time now to check in with Joe Ranieri. Boy, it looks gorgeous at the coast
Crystal
today.
clear skies at this hour along the Oregon coast. Just a little bit ago, there was a little bit of some cloud cover above the Pacific. It's all burned off, and we'll start to see the patchy areas of fog here in the valley burning off in just a little bit. I'd expect by the end of your morning commute, you'll be seeing nothing but sunshine as we get ready to see our warmest day in months. 42 degrees along the coast, and there will be a few locations in the metro area, the west side of the metro area, I should say, that will be waking up to temperatures at the low to the mid-30s, so be aware of that. But the warmest day on track in months, 70 degrees today is the expected high. Warmest day since November 10th of last year, going back to last fall. Absolutely stunning up on the mountains. 29 degrees from our Mount Hood Adventure Park at Ski Bowl camera. A lot of sunshine up there this afternoon as well, as you can see. 39 degrees in southern Oregon and Medford. East side of the state starting to warm up a little bit. The low 30s in Bend and Lakeview. Burns a temperature of 30 degrees. And throughout the metro area, here's a peek at where the cool locations will be. Basically, it's Newburgh and Forest Grove. Started to warm up a little bit earlier. You're in the low 30s. 43 in downtown Portland and Troutdale, a temperature of 42 degrees. On the satellite map, we're done with the shower, so leave the jacket and the umbrella at home, at least for one day. And that ridge of high pressure will be arriving today, bringing in a lot of sunshine and the warmest day we've seen so far this year. So far, the warmest day is at 64 degrees. We're going to shatter that by the end of this afternoon and into the evening. Mostly sunny and warm along the Oregon coast. Take a peek at some of these temperatures for the coast. Close to 70 degrees in a few spots. Both Pacific City and Lincoln City a little bit cooler, but still very nice for the end of April along the coast. And sunny and warm here in the western side of the valley. 69 in Longview. McMinnville, 70 degrees. The winds will be coming in out of the northeast. Up on the mountains, mostly sunny skies. Government Camp and Ski Bowl, 54 degrees. Both the ski resorts will be looking at temperatures close to 50s with highs in the upper 40s. Sunny and absolutely stunning throughout the Columbia River Gorge. 68 throughout Multnomah Falls. 67 up at Cascade Locks and the Dalles, a high of 69. East side of the state might be kind of a cool start, but by the afternoon, sunny and really pleasant conditions throughout Bend. 62 degrees, even better for Pendleton with a high of 66. Mostly sunny skies this afternoon throughout much of the metro area. Daytime highs will be running in the upper 60s to low 70s. 70 in Gresham and Sandy, temperature of 66 degrees. So really by 9:30, 10 o'clock this morning, we'll be done with those low clouds, seeing a lot of the blue skies above, something we really haven't seen a whole lot of the last several weeks. And temperatures by the afternoon will be close to 70 degrees. And then for tomorrow, we cool off pretty quick. It's a weak system that moves onshore for the first part of the weekend, bringing in more dry than wet conditions, but temperatures will be nearly 10 degrees cooler. And then by Sunday, a little bit cooler with temperatures in the upper 50s, and it will be back to a showery pattern for much of next week. Now here's Tony.
Thanks, Joe. We do have a new crash. It's outbound on the Sunset Highway, right there in that construction zone. This is a live look of that area. This is the backup coming into that area, but it's at that point where they have that reconfiguration, that realignment that we were talking about earlier in the week, where you kind of go a little bit left and then back right onto the Sunset Highway. So it happened right in that zone. You can see the right lane blocked right here. So the emergency vehicles have that pretty much shut down on the right side. The left lane just kind of squeezing by, but again, the backup as you approach the area of Cornelius Pass Road begins in the area of 185th Avenue, so be very careful out there. Again, that's an active construction zone. As you can still see, they're doing that paving, all part of that big widening project along Highway 26. So we'll keep a close watch on that, let you know when they get that right lane reopened. In the meantime, other freeways look a little better than average, even for a Friday morning. Most of them looking pretty good out of Vancouver. No delay, for example, along 84 coming in Troutdale to downtown. It's a 21-minute trip there, and currently a 14-minute drive south on 205 from Johnson Creek Boulevard to the Viewpoint. Kim, Shauna, back to you.
Thanks, Tony. It is 7:39. Coming up on Good Day Oregon, a little girl was born with one hand, but she always wanted to play the violin. We'll show you the technology that's making it possible.
Plus, we don't get surprised by much out of Las Vegas, but this is very odd. We'll tell you about a bizarre chase involving an animal you've likely never heard of.